Closing arguments are being made today in a New Hampshire murder trial, with details of the occult, sadomasochism, and romantic betrayal. State prosecutors have charged 31-year-old Seth Mazzaglia in the murder of Elizabeth Marriott, a University of New Hampshire student who was 19 when she disappeared in October 2012. The state's star witness is 20-year-old Catherine McDonough, the ex-girlfriend of Mazzaglia, who reached a plea deal and agreed to testify against him. She said she lured Marriott to the apartment the couple shared as a sex offering to Mazzaglia, but that he flew into a rage after the victim rebuffed his advances before strangling Marriott and raping her lifeless body.
Veteran U.S. Senator Tad Cochran of Mississippi has narrowly defeated challenger Chris McDaniel in a high-profile runoff election. It pitted the Republican Party's old guard against its anti-establishment Tea Party movement. The bitterly fought Mississippi Republican Senate primary election overshadowed other primary contests across the country. It was seen as a multi-million-dollar referendum on the direction of the party as it tries to win control of the U.S. Senate in the November congressional elections.
15 medical workers have been indicted in a $25 million scheme. Southern California doctors were bribed to prescribe a pain relief concoction as part of a $25 million workers' compensation scam that inadvertently caused a baby's death. The indictments include physicians, pharmacists, chiropractors, and the head of an Ontario-based workers' compensation claims management firm. The indictments name Kareem Ahmed, a major campaign donor to President Barack Obama, and the head of the Landmark Medical Management. Prosecutors contend that he hired pharmacists to produce a pain relief cream, gave kickbacks to doctors and chiropractors to prescribe it to workers' compensation patients, and conspired to submit phony claims. A research scientist has been charged in an HIV vaccine fraud case. This is after he admitted falsifying data that led to millions in grants and hopes of a breakthrough in AIDS vaccine research. Former Iowa State University laboratory manager Dong-Pyu Han has confessed to spiking samples of rabbit blood with human antibodies to make an experimental HIV vaccine appear to have great promise. Han was indicted last week on 4 counts of making false statements, each of which carries up to 5 years in prison.
Kentucky Fried Chicken has said 2 different investigations have not found any evidence that a store employee asked a 3-year-old girl and her family to leave because of injuries the little girl suffered in a pit bull mauling was disturbing to other customers. KFC says they will honor their commitment to donate $30,000 to help with medical bills for Victoria Wilcher. But the family has also received donations from a compassionate public amounting to $130,000 in total. Allegations that Victoria was asked to leave the restaurant were made earlier this month on the Facebook site Victoria's Victories, which has followed her recovery from the April attack. Victoria's grandmother, Kelly Mullen, stands by her claim of what happened at the restaurant. The Archdiocese of Seattle has agreed to pay over $12 million to 30 men who allege they were sexually abused as children and teens at 2 Seattle area schools from the 1950s until 1984. The schools were operated jointly by the Christian Brothers of Ireland Religious Order and the Archdiocese of Seattle, which owned both schools. The agreement comes weeks after Pope Francis said the Roman Catholic Church had to take a stronger stand on a sexual abuse crisis that has disgraced it for more than 2 decades.
More than 160 property owners affected by an Arizona wildfire that killed 19 firefighters last year have filed a lawsuit against the state. They are claiming that its mismanagement caused lives to be lost and homes and businesses to be destroyed. The lawsuit alleges that fire officials failed miserably and acted with negligence in fighting the so-called Yarnell Hill fire, the blaze that claimed all but 1 member of an elite firefighting crew last June. The wind-whipped lightning caused Yarnell Hill fire destroyed scores of homes and burned 8,400 acres before it was extinguished in and around the tiny town of Yarnell, northwest of Phoenix.
Oregon's would-be Christmas festival bomber has been denied a new trial. Mohammed Osman Mahamud, a naturalized U.S. citizen and former Oregon State University student, faces a possible life prison term for his conviction last year on a single charge of attempting to use a weapon of mass destruction. A federal judge rejected the defendant's claims that his constitutional rights were violated by warrantless surveillance. No date has been set for sentencing.